also we'll try to keep our videos on and our microphones off unless and until it's our turn to speak. As a club, we volunteer not to talk about three topics: sex, religion, and politics. The idea is to create a safe space for everyone and to avoid marginalizing any person or community. That's why any attempt to create a debate or controversy around any of the topics or racism uh, will be dealt with. And what else? Uh, we clap. We clap when we like something. When we don't like something, we clap even more. That's the Toastmasters way. We encourage all members. We encourage and appreciate everyone speaking, no matter their skill level, no matter their background, and no matter their prowess, because each and every one is precious, and they are even more precious because they're taking out time for us and to share with us. So, with that, it is time to hand over the charge to the president. And you know what? Every time I am president of Karachi Toastmasters Club, 99% of the time, I'm the one handing over the charge to myself. I don't know why that is. There's a slight bit of a curse. Uh, I'm the president of Karachi Toastmasters Club for the third time, and throughout those three times, half of the executive committee roles have disappeared, or so, for example, even this year, we had a very active Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Abdul Rahman, but unfortunately, he joined a job where his job timings clashed with, you guessed it, the meeting of Karachi Toastmasters Club, and that is why he is not able to join meetings and continue his duties as Sergeant at Arms. So one thing or another happens to many club officers. Uh, so that's why I have to hand the charge to myself. Um, First of all, as a club president, it is my duty to ask our guests to introduce ourselves. And our guest for today, Toastmaster, soon to be Toastmaster, Altaf Hussain. Please.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Walaikum.
Actually, 4 or 5 years ago, I was regularly attending the meeting, but later on, due to some reasons, I had to quit. And now today, in the last week, I attended the meeting for the first time after that gap. And now today is my second, and on the Zoom, this is the first meeting. So this will be a new experience for me. And the role of grammarian, I have myself chosen that, owing to non-availability of the person concerned Toastmaster. And inshallah, I'll be doing my best and with your cooperation.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Altaf Hussain, for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you. Now, taking care of a little bit of business, there has been no decision over the past week that requires a member body's approval. Uh, and there have been no changes to the club's composition, or there have been resumption of DTM Ghulam Qadir properly on the members roster. As far as the last meeting is concerned, we had our best speaker as Toastmaster Umar Khayyam, best evaluator and best pick for myself, best table topics distinguished Toastmaster Brarwani, and uh, most valuable player Toastmaster Mohammad Asghar for his astounding use of language and his incomparable humor. So even though Toastmaster Asghar could not win an award, we found a way to award him and appreciate his talent. Uh, okay, and now we can move on to the business of the meeting. Just another heads up for everyone who could not hear. Uh, Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali will not be able to join today's meeting because of the passing away of Prince Aga Khan, and of course, we join in condoling for this death. It is a great setback for the Smiley community, and I believe we have two members of that community in our club as well, Toastmaster Latif and Toastmaster Kareem. As a club, we pass our condolences to both the members, and the alert for our TMOD is that his roles will need to be replaced. So I believe he has an evaluation role for Toastmaster Asghar Ramadan. We can improvise around that when the time comes. And of course, the grammarian has already been taken very kindly by Toastmaster Altaf Hussain. So with that, it is time to hand over the charge to our immediate past president and one of our most active members, uh, who really needs no introduction, so I will not introduce him. Distinguished Toastmaster Sir Francis.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid, and welcome, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Before I talk about the theme of the meeting, DTM Talha bin Hamid was saying that just each year somehow half of the executive committee of KTC drops out. And I think it is because they know that we have a Toastmaster among us by the name of Talha bin Hamid, who can carry all 7 officer roles at the same time. We appreciate what DTM Talha has done for KTC, and not only for KTC, but District 122, Region 11, and Toastmaster International as a whole. Serving as club president, at one time, 3 different clubs at the same time, or a club VP education, not only in Toastmasters in Pakistan, but also Toastmasters in California, United States. Fellow Toastmasters, the theme is success overrated, invites us to question a topic that has both been glorified and vilified in society. Success, a term that often conjures images of fame, wealth, and power, is something we all thrive for in different ways. But is it truly the ultimate goal? Or is it overrated? Success and failure are 2 sides of the same coin. One cannot exist without the other. Often, the lessons learned from failure are the stepping stones to achieve success. Thomas Edison, a prolific inventor, famously said, "I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This perspective shows us that failure is not the end, but rather a part of the journey to success. Let me share with you some famous quotations to ponder. Winston Churchill said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Albert Einstein said, "Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value." J.K. Rowling said, "It is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default." Henry Ford said, "Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently." As we dive into tonight's discussion on success and failure, let's reflect on what success truly means to each of us. It is defined by societal standards or personal fulfillment. Does the pressure to achieve success detract from our ability to enjoy this journey? Let's explore these questions together, challenge our preconceived notions, and perhaps redefine success in a way that aligns with our values and aspirations. Now, let's begin the meeting. First, I'm going to introduce our facilitators or role players, starting with the grammarian, Toastmaster Altaf, who's Hussein has volunteered to take that role since Toastmaster Latif was unable to attend the meeting. Will you please explain the duties of the grammarian? Altaf Hussain.
So your mic is off.
You'll have to unmute yourself, sir. Altaf sir, you're muted, sir. We cannot hear you. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hello.
Now.
Yes, I'm sorry, please, I forgot to unmute that. Okay, grammarian, as a grammarian, I have to, see whether any violation of grammatical rules, rules and regulations is being made by the speakers. And then at the end, I have to, point out all those omissions or mistakes, giving reference of the relevant rules of grammar. So this I'll be inshallah doing by utilizing all my best abilities. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you voluntarily to take on this role. We are glad that you joined us today.
Thanks.
Our timer is Toastmaster Shahzaib Iqbal. I don't see him that he is with us. So we'll go on
Toastmaster
to
Shahzaib will join a little late, so maybe in the meantime, if someone can take over as timer.
Okay.
Toastmaster Imran, is it possible for you to take over as timer?
Thank you so much.
Can you hear me?
As a timer, my role is to make sure I'm audible and visible.
Yes.
As a timer, my role is to make sure that the meeting proceedings are on time. There will be different timing for different segments for prepared speeches. Most of the speeches are 5 to 7. So my virtual background will turn into green at 5 minutes. And at 6 minutes, my virtual background will turn into yellow like this. And at 7 minutes, my virtual background will turn into red. This red means the speaker will left with 30 seconds, and after that, he or she will be disqualified. For table topics, the speaker has from 1 minute to 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. At 1 minute, I'll show green. At 1.5, I'll show yellow. This yellow color means the minimum time has been passed. And at red, this means that the speaker is left with 30 seconds. After that, he or she will be disqualified. For prepared speech evaluation, the evaluations are from 2 minutes to 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At 2 minutes, I'll show green. At 2.5, I'll show yellow. And at 3 minutes, I'll show red. After 30 seconds, the speaker will be disqualified if he or she did not stop his or her evaluations. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran Rana. Our R counter is Toastmaster Talha Hamid. Please describe your duties as the R counter.
Good evening, everyone. My duty as an R counter is to monitor the filler words like in all the So I'll be noticing each and every speech very carefully, and I'll be noting down all the filler words which will be used by the speakers. Thank you.
Thank you. Our vote counter.
Yeah.
Our resident vote counter, distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid. DTM Talha, please explain the duties of the vote counter.
Talha? It seems like he's out of reach.
Okay. We'll go on to the next.
Or you can explain the vote counter rule.
Yes, vote counter. After the last prepared speech, he will send out a ballot for the best speaker based on all the speakers who qualified on time. And then the same thing will happen after the tabletop session and after the last evaluation. And DTM Talha has been doing this role for the last 100 years. And our next helper is ever smiling Toastmaster Wase Ahmed, who will be the listener. Toastmaster Wase, what will you be doing as listener?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, everyone. My role as a listener is to make sure that everybody who is attending the meeting is attentive to every word that's being spoken in the meeting. Because at the end of the meeting, like that bad teacher that used to be in your kindergartens or in your childhood, who used to ask you, okay, tell us, what was this guy speaking? So that's what I'm going to ask you guys at the end of the meeting. Toastmaster of the day. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Wase. Glad that you and the rest of the group was able to join us today. It's always nice to laugh once in a while. To help us with that, please welcome our resident joke master, Toastmaster Hiba Rais Khan.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guest. Okay, why did the cookie go to the doctor? Because it felt crumby. Why did the computer get glasses? To improve website. Its website. Why are skeletons so calm? Anyone? Because nothing gets under their skin. Did you hear about the film Constipated? Well, it never came out. Why don't physicists trust atoms? Why don't physicists trust atoms? Because they make up everything. On what grounds did the police arrest the devil? On what grounds did the police arrest the devil? They got him on possession. And the last one, what happened when a dragon read on several Macintosh computers? What happens when a dragon breathes on several Macintosh computers? He wound up with baked apples. Okay, that's about it for my jokes. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hiba Rais Khan. It's always nice to have you in the meeting to lighten the load. Napoleon Hill said, success comes to those who become success conscious. Another success quote from a very famous person, distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid. Success means making a positive difference to a life or the world at large. And another success quote from someone we have gotten to know over the last few weeks, Toastmaster Salah Ahmed. Success means the constant effort to improve your own life while also striving to make a positive difference in someone else's life. In short, make today better than yesterday. If you do, you have achieved success. It is now my honor to start the first segment of the meeting the prepared speeches. Our first speaker is returning Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, famously known as simply GQ. Some of you may know there's a magazine with that title, and you may have seen him on the cover of it.
My God.
His speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Umar Khayyam. Is Umar Khayyam with us?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum. I'm here.
Wa alaikum salam. Toastmaster Umar Khayyam, will you please share with us the objectives of the speech to be given by DTM Ghulam Qadir?
Okay. Please hold a second. Okay, Assalamu alaikum. DTM Ghulam Qadir is going to give us his first speech with respect to his icebreaker. He has, sorry, my mobile is all over the place. His pathway is engaging humor. His title of his speech is Life Full of Coincidences. Over to you, DTM Ghulam Qadir.
I was standing on the 21st floor of HBL Tower, facing towards the Teen Talwar. I was looking through the window panes of the 21st floor. With my arms folded, I was wondering, how should be the strategy to increase the remittances in Pakistan? On January 1st, again, there was a big coincidence. I wanted to move into remittance department, and I was told that now you will be heading Roshan Digital Account. So this is the role which I got after doing many roles in the banking sector. Over 22 years of my banking career, I have been into different roles. Previously, before heading the Roshan Digital Account, I was looking after the deposits of HPL. And before that, I was a lending champion. So in lending, we did digital car loans, personal loans, credit cards, ready cash, and whatsoever. So that was a total gist of my 22 years of banking career. Going in the reverse order, before banking, how did I got into the banking? That's a full of coincidence. I was about to get into my university, and I got a call from one of my cousins. Ding, ding. I picked up the phone because that was a landline at that particular time. So I asked him, Ji bhai, what's the issue? He said, are you interested in doing a job in the banking? I said, which bank? He said, Union Bank. I said, which bank is this? The reason being, we used to live in Gulshan Iqbal. And the Gulshan Iqbal, the main famous university road, had all the banks. And that was the knowledge which I had at that particular time about the banks. So the branch which did not exist on that road did not exist for me, the bank itself. I went for the interview in a checked shirt with the jeans and with the joggers, highly unprofessional, but somehow I got over there in the Union Bank. That's how I started my career on 2nd September 2002. Again, going in the reverse order. What did I do in the university and where did I graduated? So I graduated from IBA and I did my master's in marketing as an MBA over there. But it's very hilarious. How did I got into IBA? I always used to wonder whenever I used to pass in front of IBA, who are these people who study over here in IBA? One fine day, I sat in the entry test and then I passed. I took the transcript and I went home and I showed it to my parents, my sisters, and nobody was believing it. How could you get into IBA? So the journey of IBA also ended up in 4 years. Going back, I did my intermediate from a pre-engineering and then schooling from BVS, Parsi School. Now coming to the personal life, again, how did I got married? Again, it's of coincidence. I was working in HBL at that particular time, and I was working on my laptop. And suddenly one of my colleague, Sarah, came and sat right in front of me. And then she asked, would you be interested in getting married to a girl whom I know? And I asked, who is this girl? So one of her acquaintances she was, and then from there onwards, I got married. And now I have got a daughter of 10 years old. MashaAllah, she's studying in Bayview Academy. And Alhamdulillah, I'm enjoying my personal life. So the life is full of coincidences when we look back and when we cherish it. So things do transpire. All we need to do is to just trust God, Almighty Allah, and things will place in the right directions. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. Let me share you another success quote. This one is from our very own Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed. He personally believes that continuously improving and doing good in 6 areas of life: physical, mental, spiritual, family, work, and social defines achievement. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Umar Khayyam.